Absolutely not, a term that recently trended on all social media platforms in Pakistan. That's how the Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan responded to a question when asked whether Pakistan would host US bases from which to bomb Afghanistan.
The American government to have CIA here in Pakistan to conduct cross-border counter-terrorism missions against Al-Qaeda, ISIS, or the Taliban?
Absolutely not.
To drive the point further home, Prime Minister Khan wrote an op-ed in Washington Post where he further elaborated why he's opposed to escalating the conflict and would be a partner in peace instead.
We will be partners in peace, not in conflict.
Reiterating what the US could not achieve with 2 decades of bombing, what would dropping a few more bombs achieve?
Why would the Americans be using bombing Afghanistan after it hasn't worked for 20 years? Why will it work again?
Pakistani Prime Minister, since the start of the conflict, argued against a military solution in Afghanistan.
Here was someone who kept saying that there's never going to be a military solution in Afghanistan. I kept telling Pakistan government whenever I had a chance. I came here in 2008. I spoke to senior Democrats. I told them that there will never be a military solution in Afghanistan.
If Pakistan agrees to host US bases from which to bomb Afghanistan, and an Afghan civil war ensues, the terrorists will start targeting Pakistan as an act of revenge again, which will start another round of Taliban insurgency that Pakistan simply cannot afford. Pakistan shares a 2,640 kilometers long border with Afghanistan, and most of the area is mountainous terrain which is hard to surveil. The porous border was used by the terrorists to escape bombing and search operation on either side of the border. In order to address the cross-border movement, Pakistan is fencing its side of the border, which is near completion. Ever since Pakistan joined US-led war on terror, more than 70,000 Pakistanis have been killed since the start of the Taliban insurgency, and the economy has suffered losses in the north of $150 billion. The ensuing wave of suicide attacks in Pakistan killed more Pakistani soldiers than the US soldiers in Afghanistan and Iraq killed in action combined. Prime Minister Khan believes that the intra-Afghan negotiations should be Afghan-led and Afghan-owned. He hopes that the joint efforts of the extended Troika would lead to a new regional compact for peace and development, which could include a requirement to share intelligence and work with the Afghan government to counter any emerging terrorist threats.